Hi, I'm Attorney Ramsey Bahrawy, and this is Your Money, Your Life. Today our topic is minimizing the risk of falls. Assisting me in this discussion is Mazy Holiday, creator of the innovative mobile application and the online streaming video iStand Falls Prevention Exercise Program. She's also the founder and CEO of Holly Vision Incorporated. Ms. Holiday, welcome to Your Money, Your Life. It's great to have you on the program.
Thank you, Ramsey. It's great to be here.
Now, Mazy, what is iStand Falls Prevention Exercise Program? Could you describe it, please?
I can. It is two evidence-based exercise programs. One is Tai Chi, and one is called Otago. And they're both contained in a mobile application, which you can download on iTunes or Google Play. And you can also access through online streaming.
Okay. Now, before we go on with iStand and who it's for and exactly what it does, I'd like to ask you what motivated you to invent the iStand Falls Prevention Exercise Program? I mean, there must have been something that impelled you to go down this road.
It was by accident, actually. I was doing market research for a new type of walking cane. And I came across the statistics for falls by accident through the market research and found that falls are #1 cause of injury-related death for seniors. And I thought, first of all, I was really surprised that it was #1. And upon further inspection, I found that there was really no nationwide dissemination of one particular evidence-based program. So being a problem solver, I thought, well, this is not that hard to, create a program, put it on the internet, and there you have nationwide dissemination right there. So I did. I found the two best programs that are evidence-based and created a mobile app first. And then I put it on my website, and you can subscribe to the online streaming for a small monthly fee.
What is that website, Mazy? Would you please inform our viewers of your website address?
Yes, it's iStandFit.com.
iStandFit.com. Now, Mazy, is there any other internet program that's similar or the same as yours, or is yours a very unique program?
Actually, it is unique. I wish I could say that there are other programs online streaming and in a mobile app that you can access very easily and very inexpensively, but so far mine is the only falls prevention program. Now, there are a few companies out there that do exercises that you can get on the internet that you can download, but none of them are falls prevention.
You know, Mazy, when we think of people falling, oftentimes we assume falling is some sort of age-related issue in which the elderly are most at risk. Is that really true?
Actually, it is. Predominantly, the people who fall are over the age of 65. Most of them are women. But there are other factors involved too. Parkinson's patients, stroke patients, neurological disorders, those cause falls as well. Not just seniors over the age of 65 who, have weak muscles or they don't have the proper eyeglass prescription. Also, medication review is very important to make sure that none of your medications are making, not reacting properly together and making you dizzy or anything like that. But actually falls mostly it's over 65, those who have weakened, muscles.
Right, right. You mentioned that the demographic over the age of 65 that has the most falls is women. Why is that?
I don't think anybody really knows why women are more prone to falls. I hope it's not high heels, because I love those.
Well, is it maybe because women live longer than men?
No. It doesn't seem to be the longevity.
Okay.
It's just simply men are just stronger by nature. They have more muscle mass, and they're just stronger.
Now, when you're talking about falls, Mazy, are we talking about indoor or outdoor falls, or are we talking about both?
We're talking about both. Now, indoor falls are all too frequent, and that can be prevented in a heartbeat because a lot of those are caused by stairs that don't have the tape that you know, creates some sort of a texture where you don't slip on the stair, and a lot of throw rugs that are still laying around that aren't taped down to the floor. Those cause falls. And there's actually architects out there now today that specialize in aging at home, which is they come in and, you know, redo your home so that there's more safety features.
Actually, in the future, we'll be doing a show with a person who specializes in modifying the home. It's called home modification, so the person can age in place. So yes, you're right. There are people that specialize in that. Now let's get back to your iStand Falls Prevention Program. For what sort of person is your program most beneficial?
Well, it's most beneficial for, the Otago is geared specifically for those over 65. And it's very low impact. The majority of the people in my class, when I hold the class at locally here, the age range is actually over 80. And so Otago is really geared towards seniors, but Tai Chi is specifically for stroke patients, Parkinson's, and is really any age can do the Tai Chi.
Now, Mazy, what is the difference between Otago and Tai Chi?
Well, the Tai Chi is the, you know, the age-old, I think it's a 600-year-old program created by aged Chinese. And it's just a different type of exercises that are geared specifically towards strengthening the muscles that cause falls if they're weak. Well, you know, ankles, knees, hips, that sort of thing. So this particular Tai Chi program is geared specifically towards falls prevention. The Otago program was created in New Zealand, and the clinical trials were simply done only for those over the age of 65.
Statistics show that falls among the elderly are quite common. Could you spell out for our viewers what the main factors are that cause these types of falls?
Yeah. The main factors, there's three really of the most important factors. One is exercise. You have to keep your muscles strong. And another thing is balance. A lot of these exercises really help you with your balance, which a lot of people don't even think about. They exercise and they get stronger, but to do balance exercises works muscles that you don't normally use on a daily basis. So that's important as well. Another is that it's really important to get your vision checked, and a lot of older people don't do that just for convenience, or they don't want to, or they can't afford it. So it's important to make sure that your prescription is good. And the third, I would say, is the medication review. And there are free programs out there that they just do a swab in your mouth, and they run a test, and they can tell you if the drugs that you're taking interact well together, if you absorb them properly, and if they don't, then you need to go to your doctor for that to check your medications. Those are the three main factors.
Okay, all right. Mazy, is there any self-testing that an individual can do in order to test their balance?
Yes, you can do it. I always recommend that you do it with a caregiver or with someone around. Don't do it by yourself. But there are tests that you can download off the internet, and it's it's called a tug test, timed up and go. You can also download an eye chart and print it out, and generally it's 10 feet away, and you can check your vision on your own that way. So there are some at-home tests that you can do, but I always recommend that you do it with someone else.
That's good advice.
Present.
Sure, yeah. You want to make sure that you don't have an accident while you're trying to test yourself. Sure.
I know, we're trying to prevent falls, right? Not cause them.
Exactly right. And we wouldn't want to give advice and tell people to self-test, and then the next thing you know, they have a dipsy doodle, right? That wouldn't be good. No.
And people, I mean, I'm not even a senior yet, and I'm pretty stubborn, you know, and older people get to be where they're stubborn and they think, you know, I can do this by myself. But, you know, just have a caregiver with you.
Sure. Are there any simple yet effective exercises that seniors can do on their own, you know, like walking the stairs or something like that?
Oh, yes. Walking is highly recommended in addition to the iStand program. You can do the iStand program only 3 days a week, and it's going to, you know, make you stronger and better, and it's only 20 minutes long. But we also recommend when you're not doing the program on those days that you walk for at least 10 minutes. And again, walk with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And before you do any of these programs, you need to make sure, go to your doctor and do a tug test with him and make sure that he thinks that you're not high risk for falls before you start the programs.
Is it advisable to start the walk mildly? In other words, don't walk too fast, don't go such a great distance, kind of work up to it? Is that advisable?
Right, right. Especially if you're walking outside, you'd want to walk on a flat surface and nothing that's going to trip you up. And you know yourself, if you feel confident and you're in good shape and you've always walked or you always exercised, you know, it's probably okay for you to go outside and walk for 10 minutes. That's not a big deal. But make sure you have the proper shoes. Don't wear really loose, flappy clothing that can get you caught up and trip you, that sort of thing.
Do you advise people who perhaps are uncomfortable walking outside because they are concerned about a fall? Can they walk inside, let's say in a mall area, a store area, that kind of a thing?
Yes, especially I always encourage socialization. That's another really important part of this program. The reason I put the program on online streaming is so that groups of people can take the program together. And you know, it's a good chance for them to get together and talk, and socialization is really important for seniors. It deters depression and isolation. You know, a lot of older people tend to not go out as much. So, yeah, if you can get together with some friends at the mall and walk, that's great.
And of course, you know, not going out is a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? Because they don't go out and they don't walk, they lose the strength in their legs, they lose their balance, and their condition only worsens. Isn't that right?
Exactly, exactly. And you know, it happens as you get older. It's not as easy to go out sometimes. Maybe you don't feel comfortable driving, and your muscles atrophy pretty quickly. So I would encourage socialization at any time you can do it, do it.
Sure. And speaking of socialization, would you talk about HIP, your social network for seniors and employers?
Oh, yes. It's sort of like Facebook, but not as cool. It doesn't have as many features. But it is like that, where you can go on and create a profile and put pictures up and things like that, and talk to other seniors. And hopefully, maybe if you have a physical therapist, they can sign on too, and you can connect that way. You know, you can send private messages or put messages on the board. Create, you know, walking groups, exercise groups. That's always a good thing. So, yeah, HIP is a nice little feature.
Now, is HIP come with a cost, or is it free?
No, it's free.
It's free. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you please talk about whether iStand Falls Prevention Exercise Program can be licensed, and if so, to whom can it be licensed?
Yes. It's funny you ask. We're actually working on a reseller program right now. That should be available in about a month or so. So if a physical therapist wants to, you know, resell iStand, you know, be an advocate for iStand, we're going to have that program ready very soon.
Okay. Now, if someone is a caregiver and they would like to use iStand, do they have to become licensed, or is there something that they can do in order to work with the caree in order to be able to utilize this program?
Now, what I recommend for caregivers, caregivers have enough problems. And what they need are, you know, inexpensive, easy solutions, and anything that can help them become a better caregiver. I would recommend downloading the mobile app. It's free on iTunes, And the mobile app has both Otago and Tai Chi. And it also has a home safety feature, and it's interactive. So you can go on the home safety page and check off the things that you think in your home you need to work on. You can email it or print it out. And another thing on the mobile app is there's a feature what to do if you fall. So that's very helpful because a lot of times we're trying to tell you not to fall, but then what do you do when you do fall? So that's free on the mobile app as well. So that's what I would recommend to a caregiver is to download the mobile app and use it, with the person that you're caring for.
Now, what about senior centers? Can senior centers take advantage of iStand, and if so, how so?
Yeah, I think that senior centers are the greatest place to use iStand because you can either download the mobile app or you can subscribe to the online streaming, which is available 24/7. Obviously, it's like Netflix. You just stream it. And you can stream it either on a computer or you can stream it on a smart TV because most smart TVs have YouTube, and that's where you're going to be streaming it from.
Okay, all right. Now, getting back to your licensing agreement, what is the licensing fee?
The online streaming is $59 a month.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the lowest subscription, and most senior centers and PT groups can get away with just the lowest subscription.
Okay. And what would be the term of the licensing agreement? Are we looking at a year, 2 years, 5 years?
It is for 1 year, and you can cancel anytime.
Oh, and is there a penalty if you cancel?
No.
Okay. Now, once a licensee is licensed, do you provide the licensee with course materials in order to assist them in learning the iStand Falls Prevention Exercise Program?
We do. We have course material if you need it. If you would like to train other physical therapists with a manual, we have a manual. But the most important thing we provide for PT groups and senior centers is we have a small marketing kit that helps you get started. There's handouts that you can give to the seniors, to tell them about your classes. There's a poster. There's just little, things that kind of explain for PTs and senior centers who don't know exactly how to market the classes for seniors or tell seniors about it. We give you a kit for that.
Okay. Now, if a physical therapist wants to use the iStand program for, let's say, a classroom or in a group environment, is that something they can do? And if so, is there an additional licensing fee for that?
No, that's what the online streaming is for. There's no additional fee. That's what the subscription covers. You can stream it, for 3 classes a week or more. And either one, Tai Chi or Otago, they're both available.
Okay. Now, can a licensee who's a company share that license with another company? Is that a possibility, or is there an additional license fee involved?
No, that's called sub-licensing, and we don't do that. Each center or each PT group or each location has to have their own subscription.
Let's get back to the individual, and let's talk a little bit about the individual and iStand. What if the individual is having difficulties being able to download your streaming videos? What can they do?
Well, if they have trouble downloading the streaming video within 24 hours, I have a webmaster who can get right on that and walk you through any problems you're having, technical difficulties, and we will definitely get that fixed within 24 hours.
And before somebody signs up for this iStand Fall Prevention Exercise Program, are there any questions that you ask of the individual to make sure the individual can actually do these exercises?
Well, if a PT is subscribing to the program, they will be the one to do the falls risk testing to make sure that the senior or the patient, whether it's Parkinson's or stroke patient, can do it either in a group or one-on-one. So, and PTs are familiar with doing those tests. So, no, we don't do that.
Okay. And what if it's the individual that's requesting your program?
You mean if they download the mobile app?
Right, right.
Well, we do recommend that you make sure that you have that you're not a high risk for falls before you download it. And within the mobile app, there are disclaimers everywhere. Before you start the program, it says, it tells you to make sure that if you're high risk for falls, check with your doctor. Don't do the program alone ever. If you keep a cell phone nearby, keep a bottle of water nearby, keep things around you just in case, and to do it also with a caregiver. So we try to make sure that people know that before they start the program.
Okay, well, that's very good advice. I'm glad that you do that. How can people get more information about the iStand Fall Prevention Program?
Well, they can go to the website, iStandFit.com. We also have a page on Facebook. Just type in iStand Falls, and I'm sure it'll come up. But most of the information is on the website, and we also have clinical studies that you can download and learn more about Otago and Tai Chi if you want to know, what percentage of falls does it prevent, et cetera. So there's a lot of information on iStandFit.com.
Any interesting or unusual questions that have been asked about the iStand program?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked. A few days ago, a physical therapist from Sweden wrote me and said, we really like your program. Are there any plans for you to do it in other languages? And there aren't currently, but we're talking to them about doing some dubbing or a closed caption in other languages.
That's wonderful. That's great.
Yeah.
Any other plans with regards to iStand's future?
Yes, I would really like to add some new evidence-based falls prevention programs. For example, Japan has a fantastic program called Rajo Taiso, and it's a limbering program that the Japanese do every morning. And so they did a study to see if they could prevent workplace falls with this program, and it does. It's a great program for falls prevention. So I'd like to add that to the program at some point. I think that'd be nice.
Now, off camera, you mentioned to me also that you've been doing some research with regard to a particular type of cane. Would you inform our viewers a little bit about that?
Yes. It's a walking cane that has 2 points of cushioning, and it also has a telemetry system in the handle, which means it's similar to the iPhone, where it has a sensor that tells you when the cane meets with high impact, which would be possibly a fall. And it also has a GPS system. So once the cane meets with very high impact, it sends a message to either your medical alert system or caregiver, emergency contact of some sort. So that's the walking cane. It's called the Support Safe Walking Cane.
So really what it is a high-tech walking cane.
It's a very high-tech walking cane. Finally, we need one, don't we?
Do you plan to marry this high-tech walking cane with your iStand fall prevention program?
Absolutely. They go together so well, The walking cane is going to talk to the mobile app, and that'll be very helpful. And so we'll have evidence-based exercise. And also, in addition, I forgot to mention, in addition to the Rajo Taiso, I'd really like to add an exercise program that you can do with the walking cane. So if you have a cane and you can't, really walk without it or be without it for a long period of time, you can do exercises with the cane.
Mazy, give us your website address again.
Okay, www.istandfit.com.
Mazy, that's a great place for us to stop.
Okay, thanks, Ramsey.
Thank you. Did you know that falls are the leading cause of death due to injury among seniors? This tragic fact will only intensify as the baby boomer generation ages, and therefore more people are affected. This is where the iStand Falls Prevention Exercise Program comes in. As we learned from Mazy Holiday, iStand is the only internet-based program that can help reverse the epidemic of falls on a global scale. It does this by making clinically proven exercise programs accessible and available 24/7. In addition, iStand's new online streaming video allows physical therapists and other healthcare professionals to organize their own group classes at rehab centers and other facilities. Also, iStand licenses can be purchased by assisted living facilities, veterans hospitals, and other healthcare facilities to provide falls prevention exercises to seniors on a regular basis. iStand can support senior centers, stroke centers, corporate health and wellness departments, and caregivers seeking an effective and easy-to-use falls prevention program. As early as middle age, falling can become a real issue. For some people, activities that were once routine now feel risky. Accordingly, the fear of injury prevents people from doing things they once enjoyed, including walking. Did you know that a person who walks on a very limited basis becomes weaker and more prone to falls? By using iStand, a person improves balance, strength, awareness, and confidence, factors that all contribute to minimizing the risk of falls and improve a person's quality of life. To learn more about iStand and how the program can benefit you, a loved one, or someone for whom you are the caregiver, visit iStandFit.com. In closing, I would like to thank my guest, Mazy Holiday, creator of the iStand Falls Prevention Exercise Program and founder and CEO of Hollyvision, Inc., for her participation on this program. Mazy, thank you.
Thank you.
And as always, thank you to you, our viewers, for watching Your Money, Your Life. My name is Attorney Ramsey Bahrawy, building your trust.